Live. Hi, guys.
Let's go,
Hello.
girls. Bam, bam, na, 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 na.
Na na na.
We're gonna get TOS because that was too accurate.
Oh,
Yeah.
you said your singing's very. You said you sing very well, Gil.
Is that Shania Twain?
You damn right it's Shania Twain. I was gonna call her Celine Dion, and I don't know why.
Nope, wrong person.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big
Two-
guys.
two
We'll
can-
get to the show, but
Two Canadian superstars.
oh yeah, they are Canadian. Yeah, I
Shania
knew
Twain?
Celine Dion was. I'm
Yeah,
not a
she
big
is.
Shania Twain person, but
I grew up with a lot of Shania Twain.
hi guys,
Sounds
welcome
right.
to the Shania Twain podcast.
Let's go.
The Twain
It's
pals.
where three dudes feel like a woman.
Man.
No, if it's like every
decent show.
woman, then that's Chaka Khan.
We don't. Yeah, we're not. Actually, is that a? That's a shock.
I'm not
Chaka
every
Khan
woman.
song?
I can only say for myself. I feel
Exactly.
like a woman.
Exactly.
He's not the royal woman.
Yeah.
Guys, we're just
What's
waiting on
going
Sean
on?
here. Guys, we're waiting on Sean, right? Should he be here any minute now?
Oh yeah, he should be flying in sometime,
He's
right?
pretty late, right?
Yeah, he's a little late. It's weird not seeing Sean here.
We probably ought to just do the show, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck him. He's late.
Fuck him.
Why even wait for him? You know, I think we should just storm on ahead and fuck him.
Fuck him.
Guys, welcome to the Comics Pals.
Fuck him. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we're
Good
literally we're
morning,
doing it.
Trap Zord.
What's up, bud?
Is it
Oh,
like
thank you for
a-
the follow on Instagram. You did that the other day. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Is Trapzord like a Megazord where you can make a whole bunch of drugs in? I don't know. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Comics Pals. This is another episode of the Comics Pals, and this is episode 283. Yeah, we're without Sean today, so I'm hosting. So bear with me. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's banned.
Oh, wow. I like how Tyler, you have like a very good color setup.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, and
Kale's really
you're-
dark, and I'm super bright.
Yeah.
I was going to call you guys out on it beforehand, but I figured,
It's too
Either-
sunny. I go off the sun.
yeah,
I'm
I
in a
figured you
closet.
need some.
So
Oh, well, I think from singing all that Shania Twain, you're not really in there anymore. But it's fine.
I did want to before we jump into anything, I did want to call Kale out.
Oh, okay.
Last
let's
week,
go, bitch.
Last week, y'all were challenging Kale to get a wax, and then typical of you motherfuckers make fun of me because I happen to have a job. So you know what? I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Kale, I'm gonna double Sean's offer of $100. I'm gonna give you $200 for you to go fucking get a wax. All right?
Okay, that would pay for
better
it,
see.
for
You
sure.
better see that evidence.
$300.
Mm-hmm.
What was even the context of the wax? Was it just I'll give you $300 to go get a wax?
Yeah, because we would want to see that. Like,
think
not
both-
see it.
Well, yeah. You're falling into the same traps that Sean did last week.
Yeah.
Show it to me.
Why is everyone so flirty with me lately?
What's
going on?
Yeah.
It's the allure.
It's the what?
It's your allure.
I don't
It could be like
have
a
that.
pheromone sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marco needs photosynthesis, and he's very susceptible to pheromones. It's from reading all that Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
My thrall.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
can
guys,
see that.
Thanks for joining us. Just want to throw some plugs in at the beginning here. Just to let you know where you can follow us. If you're not watching us live on Twitch, like Trapzord is, good morning, Trapzord. You can at twitch.tv/thecomicspals. We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time for our Pals Pulse episodes, where we talk about the books that came out that day. So if you have time to read it beforehand, go ahead. But if not, it's always a good time. Real fun, spoiler heavy. So we'll give you the real dish on whether or not you should pick up these books
Especially
on
a
the day
Spawn
of.
book.
Yeah, well, we got a comment from a very level-headed Spawn guy this week. I'm going to read. So, and we're also live every Saturday around 10:15 a.m. ish at the same place for our normal Comics Pals episodes, where we talk about the news and comics that week. whether there are some or they're not, and I come up with games and other things to do like this week. Really light week this week. I was this week was so light. I was like, man, can I just look at Rob Liefeld's tweets and just talk about that? But which was going to be something I did, but turns out way too depressing.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've done that before. We've done a Rob Liefeld game before.
I feel like that's scraping the bottom of the barrel, because I was like, oh, I remember Rob Liefeld was like tweeting about hating Jonathan Hickman's, Hoxbox stuff.
Yeah.
So I Googled it to try to find the tweets, and then I found results from 2019, 2020, 2021. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is depressing.
That's salty.
My man is still going.
Dude was calling it like derivative, and I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, because he called out like some book that did like a similar concept of lives.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he copied this. I'm like, bro, have you seen all of your creations? Quite literally,
any of your creations.
Which also, makes me think, well, this guy knows about copying, so maybe I trust him on this one. So
He knows when he sees it.
Yeah, spade is spade.
So besides Twitch, you can follow us at YouTube. It's youtube.com/thecomicspals. Give us a sub there. We actually got over 100 followers on TikTok. Our TikTok's
Let's go.
Kinda
Wow.
ramping up, so follow us on TikTok if you want some like good bite-sized bits of the Comic Spells that you can watch while you're shitting, because that's how people consume TikToks, right? Not just me.
Almost exclusively.
I don't know what
Exclusively. Tail, do you not use the TikTok?
My watch doesn't even make that sound anymore, so I don't know what that is. No, I don't have a TikTok. Every time you tell me to do something on it, I just don't do it.
I'd be very curious to see what your TikTok algorithm would start giving you.
That would be interesting.
I don't want it.
Marco, do you have how's your algorithm going on TikTok? Do you frequent it?
I do frequent it. I've had to change the follows and the certain like
You had to like skew it certain ways.
yeah, exactly. I started to realize that the algorithm was calling out a few things, and I was like, hold on a second, let me fix this shit up and unfollow a few people.
I would like show my wife like some videos, and she's like, why are goth girls spitting at the camera? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one.
Pesky algorithm.
Yeah, that's not me. That's a glitch in the system, I think.
The Matrix is out there
Definitely doesn't
somewhere.
take into account how often I watch things, and if I watch the entirety of it and then gives me more of that, that doesn't happen. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. If you have a Facebook, we still have a Facebook, but
I guess it's there. It's there for posterity's sake.
Yeah,
it's there
posterity.
to have
really.
an Instagram. I think like the geriatrics will like it too.
And I do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Cal. So follow us there. Give us a follow. If you are following already, make multiple fake accounts and give us follows. Tell your grandparents to give us a follow.
Don't just tell them. Don't just tell them. Pick up their phone and subscribe and follow. They won't even know.
Pick up their Jitterbug. Find the browser application.
Yep.
And then just go to those websites. Make sure you start with www though, because I think that might require that. Also, if you go to the ENT, talk to your doctor and make him follow us too. So, unless he's a real aggressive ENT, then
Especially if he's an aggressive ENT.
yeah, don't do that. So guys, we had some listener comments this week. Got to bring up the good old director Bones there. So we had.
I have them up. Do you want me to read them?
Yeah, you know what?
Since you're doing the rest of the show?
Yeah, you can read them.
I don't want your voice to get hoarse in the middle of the games.
It's true. That's true. Especially I have a dumbass game later. So
Yeah, can't wait. All right, so the first listener comment is from. Oh, did you plug the Batman Black Mirror book club?
Batman Black Mirror is our book club coming out on Tuesday. At this point, next Tuesday, the 4th.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on Monday, it comes out next week, the 5th of April.
Great job, guys. So the first comment is from Hellspawn05. That's on last week's Pals Polls, where we reviewed Gunslinger Spawn number 8. Hellspawn says, yeah, Gunslinger Spawn was pretty skippable this week and one of the weak books in the Spawn universe. It's the end of a 3-issue arc that could have been told in 2, to be honest, with the previous issues explaining why Clown looks the way he does now. Didn't consider the bent over part of the issue, but that made me laugh.
Glad to bring comedy into your life.
I shopped around that page on like the Spawn subreddit. I put it as the clip on TikTok. Sean might be the only person who read that book that way.
Yeah, not a lot of people happy about that
Analysis.
analysis.
No.
Yeah.
Analysis, more like it.
Yep. That's it.
But yeah, so I think we gotta have a talk with Sean when he gets back to really get to the bottom of what. Get to the bottom.
I don't want to get to Sean's bottom about anything.
That's true. That's true.
He wants mine, and you know what? That's fine. He can want it all he wants, but I don't want anything to do with his.
Yeah, you can look, but you can't touch.
That's right.
But like, I looked at the page again, and like, it's clearly not that. I don't know why Sean was so adamant about it.
Foreground and background. That's all it was.
Yeah, but he's like on the side of him. All right, whatever. You want to talk about the next comment, Kel? And I think it's a real important comment because it is the end of an era, I think.
Okay, yeah. Snake of Talents wrote in and said, I'm finally caught up on my comic issues and Pals episodes. Such a great feeling besides the fact I have to wait for more. Snake of Talents, my man.
An OG.
He's done it. He's done it.
Caught up.
I think the only person who's still behind, and I could be wrong about this because I think he was in the audience last week, is Paul.
He was in the
from
audience
the UK.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
But
Wow.
like, I think Snake of Talents has watched more episodes than I have.
He's definitely watched more than me.
Yeah. It's impressive. And like, and I feel like since I've been on the show, it's always like a Snake of Talents comment that, from like an episode 3 months prior. And I'm like, this is, you finally made it. And now you'll be a lot more bored with life. So we apologize. I think we have to increase our output for Snake of Talents specifically.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe that could happen. The thing that always gets me, I would love to know how we've changed over the years.
Well, I went through puberty, so,
Oh, yes, you did. And you went through puberty multiple times during the show, too, where your voice would just randomly change.
That's right.
Yeah.
When it popped up.
When it
obviously.
popped up. Right.
Yeah.
I before I joined the show proper, I did listen to the first episode again.
Oh boy,
And
how
bad
is
is
that?
It's interesting. It's real interesting. And I also listened to like my first long box episode, just kind of get an idea of what not to do.
Yeah.
And like just even like sound quality wise, like it's just wild. What that's like the first long box episode it sounded like we're fucking recording through Campbell's soup cans.
Oh, weren't you?
We were. It was Progresso though. Is that a?
Oh,
is that
sure.
a
Of course.
soup?
Yeah. They have better ambiance in the built into the
The
cans.
acoustics are better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we also had another comment there.
Dan Trudeau wrote in on last week's episode. It's very true The Dark Knight Returns is best viewed in the context of when it was created, but I think the storytelling holds up. I think the big issue is its characterization of Batman and Superman don't line up with how we see them now. Miller's heroes aren't altruistic. They enforce their morality through force of will, and those who don't, such as Superman, are characterized as stooges or cowards. I enjoy the book immensely, even though it runs contrary to my own moral ideology.
That's an interesting read. I think it makes sense. Because at that point, he's jaded, right? He's an old man.
Yeah.
He's grumpy.
Yeah.
He's seen the shit, and he knows that that the only way to do something is going to be risking his own neck on that. I think the end maybe redeems him a bit, where he doesn't kill Joker.
Oh, he definitely kills Joker.
He just snaps his neck. He paralyzes him.
Do you know what snapping a neck does, Marco?
But he's paralyzed. He doesn't die.
Does he come back?
Sure, he dies.
No. He just like leaves him there. He like leaves him there in the carnival or whatever.
I like how we have this really nice, nuanced comment from a listener, and then we retort with poor reading comprehension from one of us
Yeah.
at least.
Because he has a whole speech at the end. He's like, "You couldn't do it, even at the end."
But listen. Granted, it's been a while, but my understanding was that was him and Joker in Bruce's mind.
It's been a while for me too, so I don't even remember, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay, interesting reading.
I
like Dan Trudeau's reading better.
I do. I think the part that jumps out to me about this comment is the part where he says Miller's heroes aren't altruistic, and I think that's definitely the case pretty much across the board. I would say maybe Daredevil, but he was writing more in the confines of continuity at that point. So,
well, and also he does Daredevil. Even you could argue does a lot through Catholic guilt, so it's not even necessarily altruistic.
It's true. Yeah, no, that's true. There's a different force kind of driving him to do things. Yeah, I get it. I wonder what that says about Miller, really. Probably a lot.
Well, especially, I guess I'm thinking specifically of Strikes Again, but, especially at the time, it probably speaks completely to his, his mental state.
Yeah. Cal, do you want to read the next one while I let my cat out the door?
Okay. Matt Murphy wrote in. I guess that was the last episode. Wrote in on the last episode. Should the MCU reboot? Murphy says, public knowledge, I do not enjoy these movies. Same. And I think they do more harm than good. But I don't think a reboot is necessary. While I don't have fun watching them, there are literally millions who do, and they put their money where their mouth is. If it's working for a mass audience and still turning a profit, I don't think a reboot would be beneficial. More experimental content like Daredevil and What If would be great, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look at the first Avengers movie. We've come a long way, and the films are arguably, quote unquote, better. I do think the fan base are incredibly toxic, though, worse than the Star Wars fans. Need a fan base reboot. Sure.
Good comment.
Yeah.
I got one bone to pick here. So
imagine that.
I'm a Daredevil fan. I have a Daredevil tattoo. How was that experimental? I think. I mean,
the violence. I think. I think it's a darker side of the MCU. Granted, it was at a different time.
Sure.
It's also a show. Like rather than go the movie route, no?
Well, S.H.I.E.L.D. was the first show. And, that was canon at the time.
Mm.
Did you watch S.H.I.E.L.D., Gil?
Yeah, I love S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
great.
big Coulson fan, so yeah. I was a fan of that.
I really liked Chloe Bennett as Quake. I thought she was great.
You
I
could
thought
have just
that
said I
whole
really liked
cast was
Chloe
tremendous.
Bennett, and I would have been like, yeah. That makes
Well, yeah, I don't follow her Instagram for nothing.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, Matt, I'm sorry, but I'm also a big Star Wars fan. There's nothing worse than Star Wars fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I think that Marvel fans can be a little interesting. They're like, oh, this is pure cinema. Why isn't Homecoming getting an Oscar? Like, yeah, there's that part, but like, yo, you should check out Star Wars fans. It's
so interesting. So Marvel and Star Wars, obviously Disney properties.
Mm-hmm.
The big mouse, yeah.
Is it safe to say Disney fans are just the worst?
Oh, if you want to talk about the worst, look at Disney Parks Twitter.
Disney
Like
Parks
the
Twitter.
Disney adults into the theme parks on Twitter. Ooh, they complain about the stupidest shit. Oh, they got rid of the themed trash can. Like, it's that kind of...
What?
Yeah.
Man, this is a whole level of personality that I don't know that we've gotten into on the show. Maybe we have at some point. It's been a long time. I don't like theme parks.
Have you been to Disney Paris?
Yep.
Really?
I hear that one has
don't
real
like theme
shitty
parks.
food.
Don't like crowds. Don't like
Yeah.
themes.
You don't like having to move, move, keep going.
I went on Halloween too. I have a friend who
I saw those pictures, yeah.
at the time, this was pre-COVID, and I'm not sure what his state is now, but he played for the Wild West show at Disney.
Okay.
And
I'm
very
unfamiliar with the
very
Paris
talented
one.
musician, but he got us in, and he knows all the super secret Disney things to do, and I was so bored.
The only theme park I want to go back to is Legoland. That's it. That's all I care about.
The one in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I want to do is the Star Wars thing.
That does look
And
fun.
It's LARPing.
I want to be able to put myself aside and really get into it, but I don't think I can.
I think when you're spending
is it-
$5,000, you're going to be able to force yourself to.
Oh
Yeah, right.
okay.
You fucking better. But that build your own lightsaber thing. Come on.
Okay,
Yes.
I've done that. I cried.
I have a close college friend who just did it. He put up his pictures and stuff. It's cool as fuck.
Don't watch videos about it. If you think you're ever going to do it, don't watch any videos about it.
Just like go for
Okay,
it.
no problem.
Just it was good. All right, you guys want to play a new game?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go for
I
it.
came up with this last night.
On the toilet?
Will not comment on that,
Yes.
but highly likely. So this game is called, and I have the stream up for you guys too. It's called "Are You Deadass Right Now?"
All right.
It's a game where I will be showing you the deaths of comic book characters, and you need to tell me what event or story it happened in.
Oh, Kale, you're gonna win.
Yeah,
probably.
Probably.
I made them pretty straightforward. All right.
Okay.
So the first one, I'll describe these for the audio listeners as well. First one is the death of Thanos, and this is a panel or a page rather of Doctor Doom ripping Thanos' spine out, Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah, so this is do you know this?
Yeah,
one,
how
Marco?
how does this work?
I'll pick who goes first.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Kelly, yeah, I guess Marco go first on this one.
This is Jonathan Hickman's run. This is Secret Wars.
Marco, Kale. Yeah,
Yeah,
you already said
that's
it.
what it is.
you
Yeah.
already said it. Yeah, you're
Do we
right, you're
need
right.
do we need to know like the issue or
2015.
No. I thought about that, but then I was wrong on some of them, and if I couldn't answer it, I didn't think it was
Yeah,
fair.
that's fair.
So the death of Martian Manhunter.
Oh.
Yeah, I probably should have asked you guys to get a pen and paper for this, but
Huh.
Yeah, so this is Martian Manhunter getting
Closer here.
stabbed in the heart. I guess if you pin me on your page,
Yeah,
you might
yeah,
be able to
pin
see me
him.
better.
Yeah.
Damn, my dude's getting burnt up.
Yeah, he got like mollywopped by a whole crew of D-list characters.
That's Effigy.
Effigy, is that the red guy next to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know some deep cuts then, because I don't even know what that is.
He's an old Kyle Rayner
Okay, yeah.
bad guy.
Marco, you want to give this a stab?
I'm gonna throw this out there and say this is from JLI.
No,
Okay,
it's
all
definitely not.
Kale, what do you got?
I feel like the death of the Martian Manhunter would be big enough to warrant its own thing. So I'm gonna bitch out and say death of the Martian Manhunter.
Oh, you're both wrong. This is in Final Crisis.
Oh.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's kind of one of
J.G. Jones.
the things. Oh, the J.G. Jones art in Final Crisis is Whatever happened to J.G. Jones? Please don't tell me
still
he
does stuff.
died or something.
No, he's still around.
Yeah, he does covers, I think.
He was still around doing the con circuit not that long ago.
Interesting. All right.
think
So
we
the next one I
bumped into him
have
one time.
is the death of Frank Castle being sliced up by Dakin
Yo.
there.
Yak. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a hint. Not a very good one, but it's a hint.
I'm right there.
Not even the
It's a
same
pretty-
state as you guys.
Gory issue, honestly.
This will be an issue of the Punisher, and I would bet post
this
Captain
one
America.
I'll allow a little bit of wiggle room because yes, this was like a tie-in to an event
To an
or
event,
a build-up, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more of a it was more of a publishing line-wide branding thing, if that helps.
This is all new, all different Punisher.
Incorrect, Marco, but you tried. Kelly, got anything?
So I'm gonna say this is like the prelude to like Frankencastle.
Yes, I'll give you that, but you're not quite there yet.
No, that might be as specific as I can go though.
Okay, all right. Well, this was Dark Reign,
That's
the
what
list. I didn't expect anyone to say the list, but it was a Dark Reign one shot.
I knew.
Where-
I knew it would have been somewhere around Secret Invasion.
Yeah, it was right up before Siege. The list was a list of people Norman Osborn decided needed to be
Yeah.
off the table before he can make his big move. So he was just out there
Yeah.
killing people.
And he was right.
Yeah, and this was Remender and Ramita Jr. with Klaus
okay.
Janson on colors.
So
or
awful
inks, I
work.
believe.
Terrible, terrible work.
Wait, was it not good?
I love this, man. I love the Remender Punisher stuff because then his body got reformed into Frankencastle,
Yeah.
which is it's just monsters, really.
That's cool.
This one, the death of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Oh,
You might
Did
know
we-
this
we-
one, Marco.
didn't we do a book club on this one?
I think you probably did.
Fuck.
Who's that on the art?
I want to say this is Even Rice on art.
Okay.
Let me get confirmation on that.
Oh my god, I'm blanking. This scene looks familiar. They're like in a they're like in an underground pyramid or cave or something.
I will say the last panel gives you a hint.
Can't read it. It's too blurry.
Oh, you don't. You don't need to read it.
That's not.
I mean, it might actually reading it might help, but it's
Yeah,
mostly Ivan Rice.
I can see this better.
You call him Rice? Is that Reese?
I'm hungry, so
All right.
That's not Dr. Light's hand, is it?
no.
Okay.
No, it's Hot Girl.
The word bubble is saying "Hey Sue," if that helps.
Hey Sue, hey Sue, hey Sue. Jesus. No.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask Marco. Give me something here.
All right. I'm gonna go with I don't know, Invasion, because it's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
Okay, you went for an 80s DC event in a book that's very modern looking. All right, cool. Kel, what do you got?
It's an event.
It is a
Rice
big
is
event.
on it. A big event. I don't know what the big events are.
Wait, can I change my answer?
Take mine.
Yeah, take Kel's.
It's it's one of the Justice League events. Most recently, Ivan Reis was doing Justice League for New 52.
he was doing Justice
And-
League. Yep.
But what would have been the event?
So you
for that?
just interrupted me for an answer, and you didn't even have one.
It was
don't-
the dark one when they cross over. Fuck.
All right, it was actually Blackest Night.
Oh, I was gonna say that afterwards.
Yeah, sure you were. Sure you were, Marco. It's where Hawkman and Hawkgirl get killed and then resurrected right away. and they get killed by a elongated man in Sue Dibney.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember reading that like by issue, and like it blew my mind when that happened. That's good shit. Real good shit.
I actually got thrown out of my comic shop
What?
as Blackest Night was
Really?
coming out, so I didn't finish it. Yeah.
For
Why
what?
did you get what did you
It's
get thrown out
it's
for?
not a good story. and like now I get it.
All right. Well, the last one we have here is the death of Cyclops. Specifically,
So that-
red suit Cyclops.
Yeah, so that's that'll be Bendis Cyclops.
Would be the era. Yeah,
Bendis era Cyclops.
sure. I'm gonna have you go first on this one, Cal. So as soon as you got something, let me know.
So the one with the kids was all new X-Men
Correct.
at the time. What was it?
And this is Emma that's holding him too. If that
Yeah,
gives you
yeah.
a hint
It
as
does
well.
not.
Nope.
I can see the title. I know what the title is.
I'm not sure
mean, I
you can. I'm not sure you do. This might be the hardest one, I think. 'Cause
It's I don't have it.
Marco,
I have
anything? You want to say Invasion again, or?
all new, all different X-Men.
All right. Well, you tried. This is actually Inhumans versus X-Men,
Oh.
where Cyclops gets killed off screen with some kind of poison.
Wait, off screen?
Yeah, and the whole
just
book
do him
you think
dirty?
the whole book you think he's alive, and it turns out Emma is just making everyone think Scott's still alive, when really he died from Terrigenesis. So
What?
he died like before issue 1. It's a weird book.
I didn't read this.
You don't need to.
Is that old man Logan up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole Fraction leaving the Inhumans title rubbed me the wrong way. So I was like,
Actually,
nah, I'm
The
good.
Charles Soule Inhuman stuff is pretty good. It's like all new, not even like the normal Inhumans either. It's like all new characters he made. It's pretty decent. All right, so
Even
that was
worse.
Are you dead ass right now? So I need to come out with a jingle for that one.
Are you dead ass?
So after talking about the deaths of people, let's talk about the deaths of somebody's
career.
action figure line. I don't want to say career. So
Please.
Todd McFarlane's gone through plenty worse. So Todd McFarlane was on some kind of video podcast for Shartimus Prime, if that if that gives you an inkling. But he was there to talk about his action figure line. In the middle of it, I guess he doesn't have his PR with him. So Todd decides to talk about why there aren't many female characters in the McFarlane DC multiverse action figure line. And he pretty much equates, he tells this whole rambling story about when he was a kid and his parents, they'd be working days and days and days, and he was a good kid and he would get good grades and stuff. And his parents would say, "All right, let's give him a gift now. He's been a real good kid. Let's give him a gift." And they gave him a female action figure. And then he pretty much said at that point, looks like Kale just gifted Matt a subscription. Bad luck
Let's
on
go.
that one. But he pretty much equated to the gifting of female action figures would cause serial killers to be made. And it's this really weird kind of ramble. And he got a lot of heat for this. Specifically, most people were like, "Yo, there's plenty of DC women characters that would be great to make." But so Todd pretty much says they don't sell. There's
Now
no
that-
reason to actually make it.
It's probably true.
But sure, I'm sure there's some kind of evidence of that. But it's not like people don't want them.
For sure, yeah. No, it's not that.
Maybe, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the DC Multiverse line. Yeah, maybe the toys don't sell because you made Death Metal Wonder Woman. Like
Yeah.
the choices of the female representation on this particular line of action figures is abysmal. It's pretty much just Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman, and then just different variations of them. Meanwhile, you have Dr. Fate. You have a Man Bat coming out. Like, you have some cool ones.
Well, but
for
there are
men.
also 50 different Batmans in there
that's
as well.
that's
So
a whole different issue. So Bleeding Cool, I believe this was Jeremy Conrad, did some digging, and he wanted to see what the stats were for similar action figure lines. So Marvel Legends, which is one I like to collect, in 2021 released 147 different figures. 34 of them were of female characters. So that's 23% of the line.
Pretty good.
Star Wars Black Series was around 12% of the line, which, and then he even went into like non stuff like that. Masters of the Universe, which is the He-Man stuff, 20% of the line were female figures, and WWE figures were 15%. Meanwhile, the DC Multiverse ones was only at 10%.
Yikes.
And then in 2021, they were only at 7%. So he seems to have a real antiquated look at this. I mean, like, throw a Zatanna figure out there.
Ooh, that'd be
there's
great.
so many that work in this. And yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any, Kale, I mean, you work in a toy store. You probably have some insight.
I do have thoughts. I don't necessarily have conclusions, but I do wonder a lot if, do you guys know about Miraculous Ladybug?
I don't know what that is. No.
So it's a French superhero
I do know
cartoon.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's aimed at, young girls, and we sell it in my toy store, in the girls aisle, because it's mostly, dolls and things like that. I think it's really cool. I wouldn't buy a Miraculous Ladybug doll, but it's not aimed at me.
Sure.
I can't help but think that the criticisms of female characters in comic books are also probably wrapped around the toy and action figure sales as well. Things like, why can't Wonder Woman wear something that's not a swimsuit? I don't see female action figures being put in the girls aisle, where,
You mean like separating them?
Yeah, where,
Okay.
They would be sold.
Okay.
And that's not to suggest that Todd is right. Boys don't like girl things, but I don't know. This content isn't necessarily made for girls. You know what I mean?
Or like it's not positioned that way for the sale.
Yeah.
Because you can make it, right? You can make the Wonder Woman specifically for like I'm sure you can make variations of outfits of art design, and you can put that out there. Because I'd buy like a Wonder Woman Cliff Chang. That'd be dope.
Well, even if you put a Wonder Woman action figure with, like, I don't know, this is probably leading into the stereotype, I guess, but like you could give her like the different armor sets, or the secret identity set, or and like Batman has all that shit too. Like, how many different outfits do you get a Batman action figure in?
Boomerang Batman.
You can't even find a regular Batman toy.
You cannot. I've looked. The other thing is like I frequent the toy aisle at a lot. Like, if I walk to a Target, I'm stopping by the toy aisle real quick. But like, yeah, it's super gendered still. I mean, you can walk down one giant pink aisle and it's all like dolls and stuff. But once you get to the quote unquote boys aisle, I don't really even feel like it's that gendered anymore. because it's literally like just a superhero aisle.
Yeah.
It's Transformers, it's Marvel, and it's DC, and maybe I think there's like fucking like Pokemon or something in there too, and Fortnite.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of agender, you know, like it doesn't really feel gendered to me, and I think there's like an antiquated thought that Todd McFarlane has here. And also, I think he is severely overestimating who is buying these and who they're buying them for. I don't think anyone's buying these super detailed, articulate McFarlane action figures for kids.
Yeah, and that's also a great point. You know,
These
Yeah,
are for collectors, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
like there are toy lines that are, you know, for kids. I forget that they almost have like a Playmobil look to the DC
Yeah.
ones. But like these are probably in line with like a Funko Pop sort of thing, you know. Like I have a Swamp Thing one, and I found that like they even sell, like Target specifically, they sell these action figures also in the collector's aisle, which is like Funko Pops and shit. So like at that point, like the reasoning for this makes no sense, because the people who are buying it are collectors, not people who are buying it for their kids. Nobody's buying a Swamp Thing action figure for their kid unless it's Marco, you know, 10 years in the future,
Exactly.
with his little son Alec.
No, it's gonna be the original one, Alex Olsen.
That could be, I can maybe pull that one off.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so like it's like you're using the reasoning that little boys don't like girl action figures for your adult line of action figures. It's just so stupid. Like, so yeah, the Bleeding Cool article also gives a little insight into this, saying like there are so many other good characters you can make DC multiverse action figures of, specifically like Poison Ivy, Mara, Talia al Ghul, Jade, Big Barda. I don't know why there isn't like a good Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, like a 2-pack right there. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what is it? The karate stomping action.
I think
With
ball
boyfriend
stomping
stomping
action
action.
is
Yep.
Yep. You know, interesting that they didn't list out Abigail Arcane here, or
all right, next topic. Tefe, Teflon Don. You want the Teflon Don there?
Lady Jane.
Who is? Yeah, I don't know any of these things, dude.
Who doesn't know Lady Jane? Actually, no, you're not gonna know Lady Jane. That's a deep cut.
So let's talk about this though. Nova is coming to the MCU
Let's go.
somehow.
Oh,
in some
Nova,
way.
he isn't.
Oh,
So Deadline is reporting that the writer of the current Moon Knight series, Sabir Pirzada, is developing a Nova project. Whether that remains to be seen, whether it's a TV show or if it's a new movie, we don't know. But we will be seeing Dick Ryder in the MCU at some point.
excuse me.
That's his name.
Oh, okay.
His name is Richard Ryder.
Ah, okay.
Dick
Which
Ryder.
Richard Master Richards. Right?
You guys have any thoughts on this? Are you guys Nova marks?
I was, but nothing has spoken to me since Annihilation.
Oh, that's a while.
Yeah, yeah. So I like Nova. I like the idea of the Nova Core, but I could take it or leave it, to be honest.
Mark, do you have any
Me?
skin in this
I-
game?
No, sir. I'm there because Marvel's developing something. And it's probably gonna be good.
So for me, I'm a big Nova fan. I really like Richard Ryder, but I really like Sam Alexander too.
Yeah, I like Sam Alexander. I like that Jeff Loeb first volume. It's really good.
Ed McGuinness and Jeff Loeb, real good. Jeff
Yeah.
Loeb.
Yeah, I haven't read a ton since then that I've enjoyed.
Oh, don't worry, Kel. They haven't ever explained Sam's dad's whereabouts yet. So
Great.
the
Love-
big mystery of it never.
I
Explained.
love it when a character has absolutely no momentum or history
Yeah,
to build on.
But no, I really like. I think the design of Nova is probably one of the more iconic unused designs that the MCU has. I mean, we had fucking what's his face in Guardians playing a Nova Corps member.
John
from
C.
Step
Riley.
Brothers. Yeah, John C. Riley, which I love John C. Riley, but like that was not what I wanted out of the Nova Corps. And they all get obliterated, I think, in the same movie. So they have some work to do.
Peter Serafinowicz was one too. Dang.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Fucking not Meryl Streep. Glenn Close.
I get them mixed up as well. But yes, she was the
think it
head
was
of
Glenn
the
Close.
Nova Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a place to start if you want to get into Nova, Tyler?
Oh, I do like the Abnett and Landing run of Nova. That's really good. You can read like early New Warrior stuff where it's like Nova, Speedball, and Night Thrasher. You know, had to throw that in there.
Yeah, New Warriors is a bit like the JLI of Marvel.
Yeah,
Justice
I
League
think it was
International.
it was like their response to like Teen Titans being real popular. I think.
Okay.
There's also Novas, which was Richard Rider and Sam Alexander in a book. Honestly, if you pick up like that original Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll get a lot of Richard Rider in that as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool that they're kind of expanding the cosmic side of the MCU, I think that is one of my favorite aspects of it, which all of the cosmic stuff we've gotten has just been Guardians and Thor.
Well, Eternals now too.
Not a good sign.
Listen, yeah,
You're right, but not a good sign.
like it or
Although
not,
we do
that's
have
what's happening.
Pip the Troll. Pip the Troll is canonically in the MCU, so
And fucking what's his name?
Star-Lord
Zac Efron.
or
No, the
Star
other one.
Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a
No. Who is that?
problematic.
Hairstyles?
Yeah, Terry Styles. Yeah,
Yeah.
but as a problematic power set there.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Harry Styles is playing a character whose power set, Marco, is the ability to seduce anyone.
Ooh. Wow.
Anyone.
Okay. Anyone. Anyone and anything?
Yep.
Yep.
It's an Eternal, right?
Yep. Thanos' brother.
There you go.
He's in we did a book club on it years ago, before Endgame came out. No, before Infinity War came out.
We should do Gauntlet.
Yeah, we did the Gauntlet. He's in that.
Yeah, I always have like, I'm sure you guys have like those like weird ideas for comics in your head.
Oh yeah.
And I always had one in mind for Star Fox specifically. It would just essentially be, it's essentially James Bond in outer space, except the Bond girl is impervious to his powers. It's like the only person who's impervious to his powers.
That's fun.
And
not
she's the
terrible.
competent
Yeah.
one, and he's not. So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. I think there's a way to make the character likable.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Is he like an asshole about it? Like, is the character an asshole?
I'm pretty sure he sexually assaulted a lot of people in the comics.
Whoops.
Yeah. Wouldn't
So, yeah.
wouldn't you be?
Based on inherent superpowers? I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. That's not to give excuses. Never mind. I'm excited for Nova, guys. I think it could be fun, especially if they. I think it works better as a movie. Honestly, I don't know if they have the budget to make this a TV show.
I'll wait to see Moon Knight, and even then,
Have you watched any of the promotional stuff for Moon Knight coming out, or are you just going in blind?
I've seen 2 trailers.
Okay. I'm still
and
cautious
I'm still
about it.
skeptical. Yeah.
Yeah, so am I. Marvel Comics is teasing their plans for the Infinity Comics, which are those like weird scrolling up and down comics that you read on mobile.
Webtoon style.
Yeah, so I always liked when they do these because I think it's an inclination. It's like a peek at what they're going to be focusing on in the grand scheme of things, and especially for
Trying stuff out.
yeah, especially for like the characters that they started doing in this. So obviously you have characters like Moon Knight, was kind of highlighted in this, which makes sense because of the TV show coming up. But also, I can give you. So I'm going to give you a list of all the characters in this, and a lot of them will make sense, but there'll be some ones that kind of jump out. Doctor Strange, Ironheart, Vision, Captain America, Steve Rogers, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Nick Fury Jr., which I guess we still have to call him Junior in this.
That's
the one looks like Sam Jackson.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
Mystique, interesting. Rocket Raccoon, America Chavez, Captain Marvel, Brute Force,
Don't know that
which is a team
It's
of
a
cybernetic
bear.
animals that was developed to be a toy line originally. But Paul Scheer has been like talking about Brute Force for years. He even mentioned it in like the Marvel Disney Plus show that he kind of hosted. So I don't know if there's going to be a push for Brute Force. Honestly,
I bet they get a Hulu animated series.
honestly, I
if
could
this
see them
goes
doing like a
well.
Disney Plus animated thing with this. You know, What If did pretty well,
I don't know. They're probably too
honestly-
esoteric.
but like a toy line, like just you can push a toy line on this.
Cybernetically engineered animals.
I don't think they're selling toys anymore. I don't think they give a shit.
It's only neckbeards like me buying toys, apparently.
Yeah.
It's all about that Fortnite flossing. You can sell Fortnite skins. Is
There
that
you
better?
go. That actually
Honestly,
is better
that probably sells better than
than the toy line.
yeah. So yeah, Brute Force, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Iceman, Falcon, Laura Kinney, so Wolverine, Jeff the Land Shark, Black Panther, Shuri, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, Spider-Gwen, She-Hulk, my boy Howard the Duck.
Let's go.
Let me showcase there.
So just
The-
everybody, basically.
the Watcher, the Silver Surfer, and Scarlet Witch.
So yes,
there's-
absolutely everybody is getting an Infinity comic.
so everyone in the MCU is getting an Infinity comic, pretty much.
Okay.
Like, if you're in the MCU, you've pretty much got an Infinity comic. If you're coming to the MCU, like Ironheart, you have an Infinity comic, America Chavez. But the specific, Howard the Duck, Wolverine, Laura Kinney, specifically that Wolverine, and like Mystique and Iceman, there's a certain, they're pushing specific X-Men characters, which is interesting. And they're pushing the non-straight white male ones,
yeah.
which I think is very interesting.
If they tried to push Laura Kinney over Logan in the MCU,
Yo, honestly,
God, there will be a fervor.
I'm smelling it, man.
Sean will foam at the mouth.
I'm smelling it, dude. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know
I
how you
think it would
introduce
be
it without
absolutely
Wolverine,
incredible.
I think we're
honestly.
down. Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I mean, because like it's also like Hugh Jackman. Like, can you do that again? Like, there are a few characters that really embodied, like few actors that embodied the character. And like, yeah, everyone wants Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine, but like,
Yeah, I don't.
Daniel
that's not
Radcliffe.
okay.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's
Have you not heard that?
No.
That's been rumored for. I mean, as soon as the Harry Potter films ended, like he was tied to that rumor.
Really? That's so
Yeah.
weird.
although he
Yeah,
is a
I
pretty
don't
good
see
actor.
it.
I've watched a couple of his stuff since. I've watched like
Yeah,
Guns
he's
Akimbo
Yeah.
and Swiss Army Man. There's some good stuff there.
Yeah, that's good.
But then like Silver Surfer is in here, which I thought was interesting. It's the only, I guess, Fantastic Four universe character that's kind of getting a push here. Yeah, I know. I always like these things. It's like those 0.1 issues that Marvel used to have.
Yeah. So what's the deal with all this? Like, is everyone getting one? Or
Yeah.
is it going to be
Or-
a whole series, or is it just? Is it
Seriously,
like?
last time they did this, they showcased all these characters, and they eventually got their own little Infinity comic series, which are specifically made for mobile. Which I think some of them have been printed as well. I think the Wolverine one just started getting printed, which
Oh,
is
interesting.
set as like a prelude to X Deaths and X Lives. Honestly, I don't know how important it is, but I think it's drawn by like Declan Shalvey or something like that. Like there's some
it
talent
was.
on there.
That's not an Infinity comic though.
I think it
That's in
was,
the
whether or not-
Unlimited.
Yeah, but it's also an Infinity comic in Unlimited. If that makes, this is where the branding's a little murky.
That's the one that Hickman wrote, right?
I think so.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think he was the one that did it with Shalvey.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm real curious to see where this goes. And honestly, it could probably go nowhere. I could probably just get. I mean, if I just get a Paul Scheer written Brute Force comic, then I'm good.
You're
See,
happy.
I was gonna say I would figure Jeff the Land Shark would show up in the brute force.
Oh, you tie them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I'm
is
down with that. I'm down with
adorable.
that. What are you looking at, Jeff the Land Shark? Or are you looking at Brute
Yeah.
Force? Yeah, Jeff the Land Shark's great. It's a Gwenpool creation.
Uh-huh.
Started in Gwenpool, and then
Adopted by Gwenpool, West Coast Avengers.
Kelly
this is
Thompson's
cute as
a
fuck.
big
Yeah, Kelly Thompson.
persona.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you, Kale? Have you, I'm planning on getting Unlimited soon. I can't say no to the deal. But
So I am gung ho to drop Comixology.
Yeah.
My
dude,
problem.
you're not the only one. It is
Yeah.
rampant.
My problem is, like, where am I gonna get comics?
You have to go to individual publishers at that point, and like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm tempted by Marvel, but I can't get DC. I can't get their stuff here.
oh, that's
you
right.
can't get like the direct DC digital stuff.
Yeah, whatever their app is.
I don't see them caring too much to even resolve that issue either.
Yeah. So I don't quite know what to do.
Well, they made some changes today. I was gonna put it in the show, but like that Comixology's thread of like the changes we made
Yeah,
was dry as shit, and I don't think they actually address any of the important stuff. But you know, it's coming.
And there is more to come. So
Yeah. Well, but if you have a Marvel Unlimited, you can also sign up for 3 months of Xbox, or if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you can get 3 months of Marvel Comics Unlimited.
yeah. Okay, that's an interesting
And-
appeal.
Marco, you got a Game Pass?
I do not. I don't have an Xbox.
You have a PC though.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, dude, I have Game Pass, and I don't have Unlimited, so I might even try it with this because I've never had Unlimited, so I'll be able to actually test this out.
Is this like a different tier of Game Pass?
Yeah, this is the Unlimited one, which is a little bit more, and I think it gives you like access to like EA Play as well. You get a little bit more bang for your buck there. But both the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy Square Enix games are on there, so there's some synergy going on there with Xbox. Even though Sony has some of the best Marvel games, but you know they don't have a subscription plan, so fuck them. I think I just want to throw this out there for any of our listeners who might have Game Pass who want to check out Ultimate or Unlimited. Sorry.
I mean, this makes sense, right? Because we have, I'm sure there's a large crossover audience between gamers and comics readers, and even stuff like gamers and anime and manga and stuff. So this makes sense. If people read webtoons and play video games, then they're getting some good content there. Or if they're just interested in learning more about Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy game came out, right? That's not exclusive.
heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, like this is a good appeal at that point.
I mean,
and you know
technically
what?
you can play that on Switch, but I wouldn't recommend it.
But like even in this promotion, right? You can see it here. Guardians of the Galaxy is like right there. That makes sense. The Avengers, sure, and then Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars. But even in the previous image you showed, Tyler, right? The phone itself, yeah, look at that. It is Guardians of the Galaxy because that's what is on people's minds at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see synergy like this, especially if they're pushing it. Meanwhile, Comixology keeps digging in deeper and deeper holes. So I think we're going to see that gap expand, unfortunately.
And you got to take advantage of that, especially right now.
You do,
right?
yeah.
People know that Comixology is bleeding, and so this announcement makes a lot of sense. And the previous announcement makes a lot of sense. To be like, hey, this is all the content we have on our subscription service that is not shitty. You know, like come over here. This is how we're enticing you. We're doing different things. Comixology doesn't have webtoons, but there's a webtoon audience that absolutely consumes comics that way. So come do all this because we have all of this.
Yeah. Speaking of companies doing things differently, DC, at the end of the Batman, so full spoilers there's a little website you can go to that brings you to a Riddler kind of themed game. And there was an update to that website this week with new questions they were the fucking easiest riddles in the world. Come on. Like it wasn't even hard. Like Riddler wasn't trying. But he wasn't trying because it was a deleted scene for the Batman. Marco, did you wind up seeing it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. And Kale, did you get to it yet?
No, I still haven't seen it.
No. But you watched the scene?
Delightfully haven't seen it.
Really? Okay. But I did force you to watch the scene, though.
I am rolling in the mud like a pig in shit.
You piggy dipping in the piggy pond?
for the fact that I haven't seen it.
Are you like bragging about it? I mean, it sounds like you're bragging about it already.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely.
Everyone comes like, "Oh, Kale, did you see the new Bat?" I mean, I had to talk to somebody about it.
No, I didn't. Why would I see that? I only watch
know how many
MCU
people
Spider-Man
have?
movies.
Yeah.
Tyler,
every
you gotta
time-
go one more slide over.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the reveal. So the spoilers, if you haven't seen the deleted scene that's there, because it kind of spoils a big point of the movie, but not a big plot point of the movie. It's kind of irrelevant to the actual plot. But we did get our first real look at Barry Keoghan's Joker.
Let's see.
Ugh.
Yeah, so this was kind of a surprise that they actually released this so soon. Honestly, I felt like this is something we would get like on the digital.
Oh,
release.
that's the surprise.
Yeah. Not the actual look of it.
The fact that the Joker would be in a Batman film.
Oh yeah, big surprise. So this is actually a picture from Aaron Bailey Art, who took a couple of different, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Stills of it and stitched them together so we can see its full face, because we don't really get it. Throughout the entire movie.
The way that was shot was it was to the credit of Reeves and crew. Like, the way that was shot was very haunting, and it did genuinely make the Joker very threatening, especially toward the end. But yeah, you never really see his full face.
Yeah, and it's never focused either.
Yeah, that's what I liked, especially the fact that they kept it blurry for a good portion of it. Only portions of it.
So I actually like the scene. I see why it was cut, because it's irrelevant to the story. It almost seems like almost too much fan service to have this in the movie.
Yeah. Was he talking about the Riddler? Is that who this is about?
Yeah. So Matt Reeves has outwardly said like there was a plan. There was a scene where Batman goes to the Joker, who was already in Arkham, to get information to see if he can kind of very Silence of the Lambs with Hannibal Lecter to kind of help him understand the Riddler, to catch the Riddler. Which again, it's another movie that the Batman is kind of echoing in a way.
Kind of.
It's almost identical. But I thought it was a good scene. I liked how this reminded me of like Lee Bermejo's Joker a lot in terms of the design of it. It's gross. He's scarred up. He kind of looked like Nicholson's Joker if he had a heroin addiction. And Barry Keoghan. Go ahead, Marco.
This guy looks like he got into like a bad bar fight, and just like now I'm laughing about it.
Yeah, messed up. But there's certain things that I liked about it. I think when they zoom in on the Joker's hands and all of his fingernails and his fingertips are gone, they are leaning into like, we don't know who this is, without even having to explain that.
Yeah,
there's this unknown aspect of him.
The head scars and the hair getting all messed up, and that was interesting, because usually I feel like the hair is pretty iconic in
he looked mangy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I thought that was interesting, especially coming off of the clean sort of cut with Jared Leto's, and then
I guess
and then like the long hair with what's his face.
Stupid. I completely forgot about Jared Leto. I'm sitting here sort of waiting to go, man, I'm tired of scarred Joker. Give me a regular Joker, and I completely forgot about Jared Leto.
We got damaged Joker.
All right, never mind.
Well, I also like this looks like a Joker who would be in prison because he doesn't have the makeup on. Like, if you put makeup on this, you get a real interesting Joker, I think. Because this is
you
just
get Heath Ledger's Joker.
I think you get something grosser. Maybe it's his teeth in this. I don't know. He's got like baby teeth. It really throws me off.
Well, because the face is deformed, I think, right? Less so. Heath Ledger's was just like the cheek scars, but he was normal otherwise. This guy, he's mangy. His face is all fucked up.
I once saw a raccoon with mange, and it looked like a chupacabra.
Whoa, you saw chupacabra?
I saw the chupacabra. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's very similar to this, honestly.
Was he imported?
Patches of fur and stuff, and not okay. No, so I mean, one little bit about this scene too that I caught was so Batman hands him this file. There's a paperclip on the file, and then when Joker hands it back, the paperclip's gone. So
No way, really?
yeah. So like there was like a good little hint of like, oh, it's gonna escape now with one paperclip. Which I would say that's boring, but like it's also the Joker.
It's a MacGyver.
So, yeah, he's the MacGyver of Batman rogues. Does this make you want to see the movie anymore, Kel?
Nope. Do you want my
Really? honest
honest opinion of this scene?
I do, yeah.
This looked like two teenagers doing a fan film.
A yikes.
Robert Pattinson to me was his voice was too smooth, and he wasn't
Too
really
handsome.
He wasn't really doing anything with it.
I feel like
then
the voice.
Joker, his whole thing, he is overacted.
Were you hearing
Well
Irish?
done.
I couldn't hear anything. He was. You want some information? I'll give you. I couldn't understand a word the guy was fucking
I think
saying.
they need to cast Kale as the next Joker.
I would be a tremendous Joker.
Yeah, you just
I'm
need one
Sean's
bad
Joker
day.
at this
One
point.
bad day. You're almost there. No, I mean, like I thought it was a fine scene. I don't think it needed to be in the movie, and honestly, like I would be okay with not seeing the Joker again. Like nothing against Barry
Yeah.
Keoghan. Kale, am I saying that right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. You look the most Irish out of the two of us. You know, like you're probably not even Irish.
There's probably something to that, yeah. But I haven't seen how the guy spells his name.
Yeah. But like I'd be okay if we don't see it again. You know.
Yeah, I
is what it is.
don't think it's necessary. Like everybody knows the Joker is. We've gotten a pretty stellar movie with him already as the star. Like I would like if we do get him again. I like it at this capacity where he's like just in Arkham and he's continually gotten beaten or something, and
Yeah.
he's influencing villains more so. I feel like that's a bit more sinister for him.
Or even influencing Batman.
Yeah, for sure. I think that makes a lot of sense without having to have him directly be an antagonist.
Yeah. Well, after
A while,
our
anyway.
break,
Sure.
we will be talking about Batman villains some more. Because after the break, we're gonna rank all of them.
Oh shit!
I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that.
All
guys.
700?
Yes. We're gonna be here a while. We'll be here till Sunday.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes or so, and we'll talk about that.
First 24-hour stream.
Oh boy. All right. Be back, guys.
Subathon.
Hi guys. We're back with
Da-da-da-da-da.
the three pals with different types of lighting.
Oh
It's
yeah.
much
They
more
make their
evident when
return.
we're stacked up in a column like that. But what we're doing this week is so the release of the Joker made me realize how much I'm tired of the Joker. That the little Joker.
Sweet. So let's go ahead and put him in the F tier. And
Yep.
we can just move on from there.
We'll get there. We're getting there. We're going there alphabetically. But I decided, what better way to talk about other Batman villains and rogues than to put them in a tier list.
Rank those bitches.
How's he gonna do it?
Yeah. So
Is that Nightwing in the corner?
we'll get. I'll get to them. I'll get to them. They're alphabetical, and I made this list myself. I made the characters. I picked the characters. Pick some weird ones in there to throw them in there for. You gotta fill out the F and D tier somehow. But I think we should just jump right into it.
Let's get
With
it.
Go for it.
we're gonna start with Anarky.
Ooh, underrated.
I agree. Although I haven't read much Anarchy stories, but
That's because there's not a lot of anarchy.
I think Anarchy was present in, I guess most recently, and there was a story, Detective Comics, I think, when Batwoman was leading the team, where he showed up in. And I think he
Okay.
was in one of the Arkham games. Am I right about that? Arkham City?
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing I saw him in was, I think, Detective Comics when Francis Manipal was on it.
Oh, dude, I mean, Manipul's doing that Scott Tober book, right? For
Yeah,
Comicsology.
yeah.
Man, Manipul's so good.
For me, Anarchy is, boy, I want to say B tier.
I
But
can't say
because
B
he's
tier.
so
I can't say.
underused, that hurts. So I think C.
I'm gonna say. So a couple of the things we should take into account while as we're doing this is importance, threat level, and I guess usage. And that being, like some of these characters may not have many appearances, but the way they were used was very well done.
Effective.
Effective, yeah.
Well, that's not fair because Anarky then is an F.
I wouldn't trust it. There's one
he's
here
been
that would
around
definitely be
4
an F.
times.
I would say D for Anarky. I'm thinking.
Damn. Cut my man some slack.
And I would say also like in trans comics media, like he's appeared in a couple video games. He's been in the TV show, right? The cartoon.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you know what? I would say C then. I'm going to say C.
I think he was in the cartoon. He might have been in one of the other cartoons.
Yeah.
But, the cartoon. I don't think he was in.
Are we agreeing on C? We could change it later on if we decide we want to talk about Anarchy.
I'm here for C, yeah.
All right, so C. We'll put Anarchy in C. Bane is next up. This, honestly, for me, Bane is S tier.
We have an S tier.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, that's above A. There's S.
Yeah.
Why is he S tier for you and not A?
When I think with Bane, whenever Bane really shows up, shit goes down. Whether it's Nightfall or Tom King's run on Bane. I think that mixed in with the, whether you like it or not, iconic appearance of Bane in Dark Knight Rises, and that portrayal of the character, I think is important. I think that he's one of the most recognizable.
In, Batman and Robin.
I was gonna. That maybe brings me down to A tier. We talk about that. I think it's the worst part of that movie.
What do you mean? Nothing. This is a perfect movie. We've talked about this. We don't need to rehash this.
We don't.
I think in terms of importance, he breaks the bat, right? Like that obviously is huge.
Twice. Does it twice.
Damn.
Well, I mean, he breaks the bat emotionally in Tom King's run. City of Bane, I think, is the arc.
So he doesn't really. He only does it once.
Eh,
It breaks his emotional spine.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I think for that reason, I would say A, just because.
Kel, if you say A, I'll put him in A. That's.
I think A.
Okay, we'll put Bane in A. Batmite.
That's S.
You think Batmite's S tier? I have never read a Batmite story.
I don't think I have either.
Seen Batmite. I think the time I remember most is Batman Brave and the Bold.
In the cartoon, yeah.
I think
Batman Brave and the Bold, so good.
Didn't Morrison use him at some point?
Batman. Oh, he did use him in R.I.P. very loosely.
Yeah.
He used a lot more Mixoplitic in his actual comics run. But yeah, I'm gonna say D.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think F? I was thinking F.
What? He's
relevant.
He got his whole magical vibe. He's a cute character. Like, I'd put him in like D.
Kale, are you aligned on D or F?
I'm not bothered, to be honest. I don't. He's
Fine,
like who's the character from the Flintstones?
The Great Gazoo.
Yes,
the Great Gazoo. Yeah,
that's true.
And so,
that's true.
as much as I like that type of character, he just doesn't fit with Batman.
Okay.
I think told correctly, he can though, as like a foil to Batman's logic. He's the antithesis of it.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I know. Nobody uses them anymore. Nobody cares.
I don't think anybody could. Is what I'm saying. In like can you imagine Batmite in a 2022 story?
No.
And it being received well, like
that. I don't see.
I think that's important to take in. Like, I don't.
Peacemaker does name drop him in the Peacemaker series.
Yeah.
So he exists.
I don't remember that.
I could no, actually, I couldn't. I don't know.
We need Tom King to write a Batmite series.
No, we don't. All right, Black Mask. Let's talk about Black Mask. Roman Sionis.
Yeah, it's a B.
B. I think I'm aligned there. I think he's well used.
Yeah, he's good. He's threatening. When he shows up, I think similar to Bane, shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's really done much.
New chat from Kit Falbo says he's generic though. I'm assuming this is Black Mask and not Batmite.
Yeah.
I can see that. It is Batman gangster with a mask, which there are a couple in here. And he's more of a Nightwing villain. I agree. I feel like Black Mask is more of a villain for the Bat family. Like I think Batgirl and Batwoman have had more interaction with Black Mask. I'd almost say C now. I think I'm getting some chatters kind of swaying my thoughts on this.
See, I like B. I think his threat level is higher than someone like Anarky.
Okay, that's fair. And if it turns out that this list is skewed, maybe we can drop a couple things down a tier and then move them. So
yeah, we'll be right back.
I get that. So we're going B for Black Mask. That works. So now we have Calendar Man. I think there's only been one well-known Calendar Man story.
You know what? Move Batmite. Boy, I don't know. I would put him on the level of Batmite.
I'm thinking Batmite goes down to F and Calendar Man goes to D.
I'd be okay with that.
I'm thinking they're both F.
Yeah, but you know what? Calendar Man has a good an iconic run. It's an iconic character,
but he's a side character.
But it's the one character. It's the one big appearance, I guess.
Batmite is Kit Fabo again. Batmite is at least a dedicated Bat villain who lets you lampoon, question, antagonize the nature of who is Batman.
Calendar Man can tell you the holiday.
All right.
So Calendar Man has 3 iconic appearances. Along Halloween.
Yeah.
Arkham, the game, where he's like a really interesting kind of part of that, where you can actually go in the game, visit Calendar Man on actual holidays, like in real life.
Yes, that's right.
Your game remembers it. And then he gives you like new clues and stuff there, and his cell is changed. And then I think the Tom King run also makes his kind of power set, where he is reborn instead every holiday. Is more magical power set. So that's the current Calendar Man. I don't think it's good.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right. F.
You know, it's fine. We'll put Calendar Man in F.
I'd say D. Wait, Tyler, what did you say?
I guess D. F. I think there's a specific character here that belongs in F, and I don't think Calendar Man is at the level of that character.
That Calendar Man has a solid run based around him, a solid story based around him, and it is good and makes sense. Gives him at least a D. That makes I like that.
Okay. Yeah. Silent Duck. Hey, bud. Also saying D. Duck, give him the D. Okay. Carmine Falcone. Carmine Falcone.
Mobster's always an F.
Kale, very anti-mobster.
F for boring.
But here's the thing, though. In terms of mobsters, this is the mobster.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think, like, outside, like, in DC.
You better make a new category, G.
G. For Goomba. I don't. I want to put Falcone pretty high up, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Because I'm thinking the same.
I'm thinking B.
All right. I'll give it to you.
Were you going higher, Marco?
I was gonna say. Well, here's the thing. I like the crime families and like that concept as like early Batman villains and him sort of coming up on that. That's fun, and I think because of that, because it's a important part of him before being, fighting the supervillains. Right? He's just fighting crime. That for me is a solid B or A, but I think I'll give into a B.
Okay, what were you saying? We can maybe split the difference here.
C at best.
C. So Marco wanted A. I wanted B. Kale C.
I guess what
slides him in B.
Yeah.
I feel like the influence for Falcone and Maroni is manufactured. It just doesn't they're street thugs. Big fucking deal.
But I mean, for him initially, That is a big deal. Like,
You
that's
won.
the crime of Gotham. That's the underbelly of that shit.
Yeah. So
So that's important.
I don't need to just same as I don't want to see 10-year-old Bruce Wayne, studying chemistry. I don't care about him tripping over thugs.
Damn, Kit Falbo in chat making much more nuanced reasonings than we are.
Yeah.
Other than, I don't like them. I don't like gangsters.
Batman also generally learns that organized crime is better than unorganized crime, as the violence is more controllable. Lets Batman draw a line in the sand and decide how to react and deal with the gang wars, etc. Silent duck with me, though, just a mobster, nothing special.
I'm going to say, so we got an A, a B, and a C. I'm going to put them in B.
Okay,
Again,
I can live with that.
We can think about it. So this one's interesting. Catwoman. Because
Catwoman.
instinct says Catwoman's S tier.
Right.
But I'm thinking in Rogue's Gallery. Is she a rogue at this point? She's definitely part of his Rogue's Gallery.
Well, I guess you got to think about it from the perspective of
So-
being.
So is she an F? Because technically she's the worst Batman villain because she's not a villain.
Well, F because she's fucking him too,
Hey, so we should put her in D because she's getting the D.
Or it could be S for the sex they have.
Kit Fabo brings up a really good point. Batman cares about thugs as he cares about rehabilitation,
Here you go.
and I think that is a tremendous point, especially about Catwoman.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I think this is S tier Catwoman. Like, just in terms of like, it's one of the few Batman villains that has actually evolved,
And
and Batman has
life.
let evolve.
Yeah,
Because Batman is all about like, I'm just gonna keep beating you to shit, putting you in Arkham, rinse and repeat, and whether it evolves past that is debatable.
Well,
Catwoman's one of the few that it has.
I think it's also interesting because he allows her to operate to some extent, right? And that's like morally
He's a
dubious
fucking
on
simp.
Batman's
S for
part.
simp.
Hey, you can't say downstream.
Oh, you can't. Yeah. Oh, I guess you can't call any actual people that. So.
Oh, okay. Somebody okay, fine. But he like there's some wiggle room there for Batman around her, and that's
There
interesting.
is.
You know what?
think
I'll
so.
give you S tier. I'll say S tier.
All right. Yeah, I think she's got to go in S tier. Also, I use that
tier
Darwin
makes-
Cook image.
makes sense.
Gotta love
Yeah.
that Darwin Cook Catwoman.
Good
design.
old Darwin Cook.
she is one of few who are so iconic that I think S tier makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Clayface is up next.
Ooh.
One of my favorites, honestly. Kale, are you a line where like Clayface is like one of those underrated
Big time.
favorites? Yeah, I love Clayface. Have you guys both played Arkham Asylum?
It's been a
first-
very long time.
Yeah.
Do you remember when? Oh, is it Arkham Asylum or is it Arkham City? The Clayface fight.
I believe it's Arkham City.
I think it's Arkham City. Yeah, and there's like a twist, and then it's like, oh shit, this is a Clayface fight. Oh, that shit was so good.
Yeah,
And
it
the
is Arkham
Clayface
City.
arc of the animated series, like that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So good.
it's like it's not quite Mr. Freeze level, but like it's close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
B.
I'm gonna say A.
My heart says A, but
Yeah.
as we get to it, I think there will be I don't think he's on the same level as Bane.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the Batman?
Yeah. Love the Batman.
The
I
animated
haven't
series.
watched. That's the one I haven't watched.
it's
so
very
good. That was
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite
very good.
Clayface because he was in the police department in the Gotham City PD and was it was Bruce's best friend who turns into Clayface. And it's like this-
Crispin?
Ethan Bennett. is the
Oh,
character.
so it's not Basil Karlo?
No. It's like somebody totally
Interesting.
different. But like the dynamic is really cool, and I like his design.
His design is great, even though he looks like a big pile of poop.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh. S for scat then. All right, so I think B. I think is fair. B is
B
fair.
works.
All right.
B's comfortable.
Next up, we have Condiment King. This I put in there. We needed something going the F tier.
Yeah, yeah. Slap him on the F.
This is just to
Might
fill
as
it
well.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
F
think
for
I've read.
falafels.
Although Condiment King and Brave and the Bold is pretty fun.
Agreed. Silent Duck and
Yeah, everyone's
Kid
saying F. Yeah.
Yep.
Court of
F.
Owls.
Easy F.
Court of Owls.
Boy, I think
That's a tricky one.
Court of Owls is great.
I think they're an A.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
In terms of recent
yeah.
Batman villain creations, it's probably the most important.
Yeah.
That whole arc like messes with him psychologically. Yeah. That's
Not only that, it influences the comics for the next, 10 years?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because what New 52 was 2011, right?
Yep.
And they're
Shit,
like
dude, I
still making material about the Court of Owls.
Talon had a whole run.
Yeah.
Big
Ooh,
antagonist for Nightwing.
underrated book. Talon. Yeah, but like Talon's still in currently in the Suicide Squad book. They're making
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Kate,
Court of Owls is going to be
Fabo
in one
says
of the
they're
movies.
good like the Batman Who Laughs is good. So we should probably take him down to an F.
Well, Batman Who Laughs is on here, and I have thoughts about that. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to say A. I think I'm agreeing
Yeah.
with A.
Yeah,
A.
yeah,
Yeah.
A's
Court
good.
of Owls.
Deadshot.
Deadshot. Deadshot's
a
a
tricky
C.
one.
Who do we have in C?
Anarky is in
Anarky.
C.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
That makes sense
I
to me.
agree. I think
I think-
Deadshot's always a good hired gun to kind of butt heads with Batman, but I think there's a mutual respect there.
Well, and I think
always
that he floats around better. Yeah, more of a general DC villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so C. So another one that's a general DC villain sort of thing, but not entirely is Deathstroke, because I think the Deathstroke Batman
See, Deathstroke's
dynamic is
cooler
interesting.
though.
But he's not a Batman villain.
Teen Titans, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kid Fabo, cream of the crop DC villain. And I agree with that. And that does
Boy,
hurt
Deathstroke
this
is I
ranking
agree.
because it's a Batman ranking.
That's fair. If it was DC villains, I'd probably put Deathstroke in A tier.
Yeah.
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 But in terms, but there's a lot of good Deathstroke Batman dynamic too. I like that. It's almost romantic in a way. The way they talk to each other, it's kind of weird.
B makes sense. I think B.
I agree. I think B works.
'Cause he's definitely better than Deadshot.
Yeah.
But I think B is about as high as I would go.
So this one I put on here, and I forget his name. This is Deathman, I believe, is next up.
Deathman.
I genuinely can't see it.
Is this Lord Deathman, or I forget who this was? I don't know. I just screwed up my whole list.
Lord Deathman is a skeleton.
Yeah, no, that's a different guy that I didn't put on here. Actually, did I put him on here? He might be on here. This is all right.
Muck.
This is Doctor. Yeah, I would put him in like D. I'm just gonna put him in D for Doctor because I know that's his name.
Can't even tell who it is.
Doctor Hurt is next.
Interesting. Wait, that's who that was? Or that's
No,
next?
who's next up? I just pretty much skipped the
Dr.
this
Hurt.
is Simon Hurt.
I don't think I've heard of this person.
This is
So-
the main villain in the Batman R.I.P.
Yeah, Dr. Hurt is an old 70s villain. Not barely a villain, to be honest.
63
He,
actually showed up. Yeah.
he is resurrected. He's brought back by Grant Morrison, who uses him as a way to make all of Batman's history canon in the way of some of the stories were like in Bruce's mind, and that's like how that's like the one of the broader points of Morrison's run on Batman is like making everything canon and therefore setting up the mental failsafe of the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
Yeah, this gets into real Morrison-y stuff too.
Yeah.
And he also is like alluded to being the ancestor of Bruce, maybe a twin of Bruce, maybe even his father at some point. I think he was even at some point they alluded to him being Barbados, which then Scott Snyder kind of takes and makes his own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are like the Batman RIP stuff, and honestly, Hurt shows up throughout Morrison's run all over.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
But I don't think it's used very effectively, to be honest.
I don't think anyone besides Morrison can do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even Morrison's stuff is muddled. Like, I don't feel
Fair.
like it's super clear.
You need to be
like what the goal is, and because his identity shifts so often.
So like in terms of danger to Bruce, would you guys put him at that like BC?
No, not at all.
It's more of a psychological danger, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the danger of Bruce going insane, really. I would say, I'm going to say D or C.
I would say D.
Okay.
I'm down.
Yeah, that's fair.
D tier
All right, next up.
is
A lot of doctors on this list. Dr. Phosphorus.
F.
Phosphorus is spelled with a P, Marco, not an F.
Well, it only goes down to F.
I think. I mean, Dr. Phosphorus is like. I mean, there's a couple of villains on this list that's like that, where they're good. I need a page of Batman punching somebody.
I don't think I've ever read anything with Dr. Phosphorus in it.
There's actually a current book right now that's drawn by Danny. I don't know if you're familiar with Danny.
Ooh.
No.
That involves
Yes.
after A Day, where Arkham Asylum got destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of the inmates escaped, and they're all throughout the city. And it's one of the psychiatrists there trying to collect them and make sure they're okay. It's called Arkham City of Madness, I believe. It's good. It's a gorgeous book. But Dr. Phosphorus is in it. He's just a guy who's radioactive, much like that shitty Imagine Dragons song.
Radioactive.
Yeah. I stand by it. F tier for Phosphorus.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know the character. I genuinely can't
Put
say.
him in there.
So
Next up, we have is Firefly.
Oh, okay. In the games.
You're interested in Firefly?
Well, he was in one of the games.
he was in the animated series too.
He was in the game. He was the character you had to like. It was the Batmobile boss, right? You had to like.
Yeah,
Really?
I think so. Yeah,
Drive
like on like
around
the
and,
bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good mechanic there. I think we're getting more of them once
That's
the Batgirl
right.
movie comes out.
Yep. Brendan Fraser. Come on, B tier for Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, there's
But
no
for
way I'm seeing
Firefly-
Firefly in B tier.
For Firefly, I'd say C. I like that.
I'm gonna put him in D.
Yeah.
I would probably put him in a higher D, just because I think he has potential in the same way that like Clayface does.
Really, you
but
think
he's
Firefly has that much potential? He just likes setting fires.
he's never used.
Fair, yeah.
But
I
like,
guess so.
especially in the animated series, they have very similar backstories.
It's fair.
I think what the animated series does better for Clayface is it makes him a tragic character.
Yeah.
Um,
The Firefly
you know-
doesn't have that chance. He hasn't gotten that chance.
yeah,
So you guys saying C or D?
I would say high D.
Let's say C.
Still a D, but
I'm gonna say D. I'm gonna throw him in D.
All right.
Next up, we have is the Flamingo.
oh,
F.
I mean,
no way.
there are not many Flamingo stories at all. I think there's
Yeah.
one issue really of Batman and Robin where he jumps out, and that's not even a Bruce Wayne.
It's
Batman.
so good.
It is such a cool design, though. Marco, he's a guy that rides a motorcycle wearing full pink, and it's a pink motorcycle, and has this really good whip.
Fuck
That's him.
yeah, dude.
like if you're talking about like potential, oh man, Flamingo had so much potential being a cool villain.
So I googled it really quick. Eduardo Flamingo is an insane assassin enemy of Batman and member of the Circus of Strange. He is a man who is lobotomized and brainwashed by the mob to become a flamboyant mercenary and serial killer who eats the faces of his victims. What?
I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Grant Morrison created this guy? That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's in,
Marco, really check out Batman and Robin by Morrison. It's
yeah,
Dick Grayson,
Morrison
Batman,
and Quietly. Yeah.
Damian. It's quietly like that.
Yep.
Screw Grant at that point.
Yep. C.
I think he's got a real fun factor to him. I think.
Yep.
I'll put C. I'll go for C.
The only reason he's not higher is because he's only been in one thing.
I've seen him. I think just get beat up in other panels. I don't think I've ever seen
Yeah.
him actually used.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be down your alley, Cal. Gentleman Ghost.
Ooh, love
Oh,
Gentleman
so
Ghost.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Is he a Batman villain? Or am I who I
He's
think
another one
I'm
of those,
thinking
like,
of
I kind of had to fill out the roster here, but
I think I'm thinking of the Shade,
maybe. Yeah.
who's a Hawkman villain.
You're the only one on this podcast who can name Hawkman villains.
Well, it's the only one I got. Yeah,
I
love Gentleman Ghost.
I like him too. I think again, this might be a thing where he's not really a full Batman rogue.
No. Yeah.
But in other lists that I've seen, he was mentioned in it. He's a fun character. I think when there is a mystical magic based Batman story, he tends to show up.
Yeah.
It's just there's not many of those.
I put him in C.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Oh, so he was actually first appeared in Flash Comics 88 back in 1947.
Man, early Flash villains are fun.
This guy's cool, dude. And that Brave and Bold episode with Gentleman Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
real
Who
fun.
voiced him in
Probably
that?
what I'm thinking of.
Who is the voice actor in that? I need to look that up.
Greg Ellis.
Never mind. Don't know who that is. All right. Next we have Harley Quinn. This one I feel like is tough.
I say A tier because she's spun out and grown into her own character. Like she's grown into her own stuff separate of Joker, separate from Batman, and I think that that's important. And like for her as an antagonist for him, she's usually tied to the Joker. You know, they have their dynamic and stuff. But I think she's grown.
Yeah, I'm gonna say A tier as well. I think it's funny if you go like, if this was like a general DC tier list too, I'd still put her in A tier. I think she's like super important.
Yeah,
But I
for
think
sure.
you make a good point where like she's not really tied to Batman as much anymore. She's kind of evolved past it. She's evolved past Joker, honestly. She's kind of got
Yeah.
the Deadpool treatment, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And she's not really a villain anymore. Oh, that is it that Stefan Sejic Black Label Harley book? Harleen? Oh, that book is so
Yeah.
good. That's a good ass book.
Yeah. A tier makes sense to me.
I love Harley Quinn, man. Such a good character. And it's so wild that she really. Oh man, she's one of my favorites.
it just doesn't.
I like when she's written
do
with
anything
some
for
depth
me.
instead of just being the DC's Deadpool, which I think some people write her as.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she's actually written as a character, like in Harleen, I think she's very good.
I think that's my thing is I wouldn't go out of my way for her, but when I'm presented with her, I like her. So in stuff like the Suicide Squad and I mean even the old Suicide Squad, as well as Birds of Prey, I didn't mind her.
Yeah.
She was one of the
she's
few
good
good
in
parts
that.
about the original Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more of a
even,
Margot Robbie thing though.
The Town
Right.
Teller run that we read, that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
a good linchpin of that.
Yeah.
Next up, Dr. Hugo Strange.
Oh man, I thought that was Clock King.
No, I didn't put Clock King on yours. No, I didn't. That's alphabetical.
Hugo Strange, that's definitely at least a B.
You think?
Really? That high up?
To be fair, I only know him from the game, and that was pretty cool.
He was the main villain of that game. I would say he teeters on C and B, I guess, looking at this list. but my inclination is to say C.
Yeah, I think C.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
Like
important.
we put him on the same tier as Gentleman Ghost and Flamingo. Like I think he's above that.
Well, but my thing is, I'm sure there are important stories out there for him, but I don't know what they are.
Fair. Fair. All right, we'll put him in C. We change our minds.
right.
We can change our minds. Hush.
Kit Fabo says B tier, strong villain, not a great design for Hugo Strange.
I think it's a cool design.
I don't.
Especially when
What's
he's
his-
buff. You ever see when he's buff?
Yeah.
ripped.
In the TV show, I think.
So we have Hush next. That's an interesting one. This is one of those characters that's not used often, but when it was used, it's probably one of the best Batman stories in the this century.
Also in the game.
Is he? Yeah. It's one of the
Yeah.
side quests, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I want to say B.
I also wanna
stuck
say B.
between B and A, honestly.
Really?
I really like Hush, man.
Same.
I mean, listen, I like Hush too, but I think his importance is overrated.
But I think
It's a
similar
retconned
to-
importance.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't even necessarily mind it, but it's not been used since then.
I think that there's opportunity to use it, right? There's opportunity to grow that
yeah.
end of the story, and I think the way that the book leaves off, it leaves that potential the same way that the game left off with potential, right? I think I like that a lot. I'm definitely in the B tier for this.
I'm gonna say B as well. Yeah. I'm feeling
And
B.
Kit Fabo brings up a good point. He's one of the few who knows Batman is Bruce Wayne.
No, I think he was talking about Hugo Strange, but I guess it applies for Hush as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also says when you get to ranking villains who get limited appearances, it's kind of like ranking Monster of the Week characters. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna get to two of them coming up. I still say B. I mean, it's Jim Lee.
Yeah.
There's the animated movie about it.
I'm C.
Right.
If there was a middle ground between B and C, I'd probably put it there. But
B.5.
I can't put them on the same list as Flamingo and Gentleman Ghost. I'm gonna put them on B. I think.
Yeah,
Hey, Marco, you're on B as well. Okay.
I'm on board.
James Gordon Jr.
Just did a book club coming out next
2
week if you
weeks.
watch this on Monday. And if
yeah.
not, on the 5th of April.
Great character, not super important.
Yeah. See, this is a C tier.
He's your standard serial killer. Like, there's nothing special
it's-
about him
I think
except
it's
that he's
D,
Gordon's
honestly.
son.
I think it's D. If we were rating Batgirl villains, he'd be S tier.
Yeah.
Just terms in general, Batman, I'm gonna say D.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, if we're talking Batman's Rogues Gallery, I think Batman's directly dealt with him like once or twice. But okay, yeah, let's put him D.
I'm gonna come be the Joker. Yeah, get in line, pal.
Jeremiah Arkham.
Interesting. See, I don't see him as a villain.
He's an antagonist, I think, but maybe not a villain.
I know he's someone who wants Batman in Arkham. Especially if you read like was Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle stuff.
He's not wrong.
There's an arc where Batman gets locked up in Arkham for a case, and Jeremiah Arkham is horny for it. But I don't know. One of the other times that Arkham has been exploded, he also went on the hunt for the less violent inmates and really took care of them. I don't remember. That might have been around Final Crisis.
Maybe F then, I would say. A little too
I
not
don't see him
important.
as a villain.
Okay. Any thoughts, Marco, or not really on this one?
Yeah, he's. I mean, if he's not like as much of an antagonist as like James Gordon Jr., then I think that makes sense. F tier.
All right. This is an interesting one. Joe Chill.
Ooh.
In terms of importance,
Yeah, is he S tier? Like
I don't know.
by default?
He essentially created Batman in a way.
Yeah.
Unless you read the stuff where it's like Gotham created Batman as a necessity, but it's I want to say he's at least A tier. Even though he has only really been in one story. They brought him back a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
But like, fine, in terms of importance, 1,000%, right? But in terms of effective use beyond that, what else do you do? Like
Kid Fabo says D, he's a fulcrum more than a villain.
Yeah. Right? What else are you going to do with him at this point?
He also is like, maybe this is him being a fulcrum, but he is the bad side of Gotham personified,
So
Wouldn't
like
you argue that's what the mob bosses are?
Sure. Yeah.
But they have reusability, whereas Joe Chill he's one and done.
Yeah.
If it's not C, it's D.
I think D's too low.
Yeah, I agree.
Or do I?
Do you?
I'm gonna say C. Right in the middle.
Boy, I don't know. I might think D tier. Because
Mark, are you saying D?
I'm saying D, I think. Yeah.
He's
All
a
right,
common ass thug. Like,
There's also been multiple points where they've retconned him as actually not being the person that killed Bruce's
Sure.
parents.
Yeah.
All right, let's put him in D. All right, this is the easy one. Joker.
F.
Really?
S tier, I guess.
He's got to be
No.
S tier. Like, there's no
He's S tier.
even debate there, really.
Like what am I supposed to say?
Can you even debate for him being below S tier? Not really.
No, you can't. You can't make an argument like that.
I mean, I could, but it
would be a wrong
it wouldn't be
argument.
effective. Yeah.
KG Beast. I feel like it's another one you would like, Cal.
Man, I don't know anything about KG Beast. I think I've
Really?
only seen him in mentioned in passing or in Young Justice. I think he's in like the first episode,
Okay.
the TV show.
I think he's got a cool design. He's got like a weird like 90s design to him.
Like Diet Bane.
So he's not A tier at least. We can't put him on the same tier as Bane. I think he's another like D tier villain, I think. I don't think he's F because he is formidable,
Yeah.
but I'm saying D.
Yeah. D tier makes sense.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Killer Croc.
A tier.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't put Killer Croc in the same realm as Harley Quinn, Court of Owls, and Bane. I think
What?
he's a B tier. I
But
think
he's
B.
but he's also not a mob boss like that.
No, but he's just muscle. He's all muscle. But he is one of the best muscle you can get,
Yeah.
Like I think he's up there with like Deathstroke and Clayface. He's not
All right.
A.
See, now I'm thinking Clayface needs to be A. And then we
I
put
can't put Clayface in the same realm as Bane and Harley.
Yeah. I think
maybe we drop some of the B's down to C, if anything.
I think B makes sense. I would put Killer Croc with Clayface. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
They both feel like the sort of monster of the week types.
but he's so flexible. Like you can use him in so many different ways. He's like in Batman, what was it, Batman and Robin, the Jeff Lemire story, right? He's used to great effect there.
I mean, but you can do the same with fucking Batmite. Like,
Yeah.
He has so many more appearances than that.
But his function is always the same.
Batmite was all over the 70s. Like, what do you?
Yeah. But like Killer Croc's is it's always the same thing. He bites and slashes things. Like
Yeah.
that won't ever really change. He's never going to become the kingpin. So there was
He's
a story with Batwoman where he was like the king of like the monster section of Gotham, but
Yeah, he's got
Didn't
some
last long.
tragedy. He's got he's got some decent backstory, and that's good. That takes his cachet up.
Who did we put next to Deathstroke there? Who's in between Deathstroke and
Clayface
Rock?
and Hush.
Hush. Oh, Hush. You know what? Maybe we drop. Maybe we do drop Falcone.
Down to C.
Maybe.
I'm okay with that if Kale is.
I mean, I wanted him way lower, so
That's true, yeah. So you can drop that down. That seems a little better as a B tier.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable with that.
Killer Moth.
D.
I would
Somehow
say F,
what?
honestly.
Yeah, somehow worse than Firefly.
Although his costume is much better than Firefly's.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
it's one of the stupidest Batman villain costumes ever. I almost want to put him in D just for the costume. It is
But he's
ugly.
he's mad cool in Teen Titans though.
Is
Is he in Teen Titans?
Yeah, in the animated series,
I don't remember.
he's like one of the big bads. He like tries to transform.
He's a
all
big
of,
bad?
in Teen Titans show.
You sure you're thinking
Oh,
about?
you're right. You're right. He has
Yeah,
a
he
different
has-
costume there.
Yeah,
I don't know
he
if
has
it's
like
the
a
same character.
2-episode
though.
arc.
Is it Killer Moth?
Yeah,
And he gives Starfire the little grub thing, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is Killer Moth. Oh, they just gave him a whole different
This-
thing there. You know what? He's
this-
going up to D tier now. He gets a little bump up for that.
That's the only Killer Moth that I know.
Yeah, the Teen Titans wiki says he is much more competent than any of his other portrayals. Yeah, dude, that was a good design too. He was literally just like a Mothman sort of thing.
That's it.
Oh, Silky was the little thing he gives
Yeah,
Starfire.
that's
Okay,
right.
yeah. I'll give him a D tier on that one.
Give him a bump.
All right, so we have Kite Man. Hell yeah.
F.
F, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe once that Kite Man show comes out, we'll see where he goes. But
Yeah, like you want me to say he's better than Condiment King? Like, come on.
yeah, he's right next to him. I feel bad for Dr. Phosphorus, man. He's getting lumped in with Condiment King and Kite Man. Jeez.
Hey, you know what? Do better, right?
I mean, yeah, just because you have radiation doesn't make you a good villain.
It's true. It's true. He's
Sorry.
Let's do it. Radiation. Mad Hatter.
This is good.
I feel like this is a lot of like people's one of their favorites.
He should be a B, but I think he's a C.
No way.
I don't think he's used often enough.
On the same level as a Hugo Strange. I
I
can see
don't
that.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
I think he's definitely a monster of the week.
I agree.
I feel like
But-
he teeters between
but
A
use
and B
less.
there.
No way. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
A and B? Nah, no way. No way. The last time I saw Mad Hatter used well, he's also in that Arkham book that I talked about. But I think it was the most recent Sean Murphy White Knight.
Oh,
Where
okay.
he's used
Yeah.
as like a. He's used as a tool by the Joker to mind control people.
That's
he's always
that's
a
the
tool.
thing. His methods are used better than he is.
Yeah, I agree. The technology. I feel like it's always, oh, this is Jervis Tetch technology. You know, like
Yeah.
it's never him using it.
Yeah.
It's always
But-
like a
but that-
modified version of that. Yeah.
But that has to like at least apply within the context of like him
Yeah,
and
that's-
his impact.
That's why he gets a C.
If he was
not
using
even
it more
B?
himself, I'd put him in B.
He's great in the animated series. But like
Okay. I just feel like he deserves more. He has more.
Oh,
like,
no, I agree
presence
with
than
you.
that.
yeah,
I agree. He deserves more.
1000%.
I think he's one of those characters too that like, if we got like him as like a villain in a movie, I think it could work. Make it a real psychedelic Batman trip into like Batman's psyche and stuff. Like,
Yo.
yeah,
Shame we're never gonna get one of those.
never,
Maybe not.
which sucks. Man Bat is next.
C.
I say
C?
Man
No,
Bat's
sorry,
a
B.
B.
B,
I meant B.
yeah,
Yeah,
B.
I meant B. I was looking at the
Okay,
wrong one.
we're aligned on that one. Yeah, it's a B. I think it's one of those things where he's like a tragic figure too that makes Batman rethink things.
Again, he's got that monster of the week heat.
Yeah.
In more recent memory, though, he's kind of surpassed that. He's been used as a scientist more. Previously in like the Man Bat miniseries, that was that Romby, I think.
No. That was
No, it was well before Envy.
No,
Yeah,
because it was Sumi
alright.
Kumar on art who did The Savage Shores of Rambi. Was it?
It wasn't Ron B. No, because I picked that series up. It was somebody else. It had like 7, 8 issues or something.
I'll look up. It was Dave Wildghost, but it was Sumi Kumar on art.
The art was good.
It was very, very good. Yeah, I think it's a fair B. Maxi Zeus. That's F, right?
Come on,
Yeah.
Ken.
Do you like Maxi Zeus, Cal?
Well, it's tough because like it's weird that I know him and I have affection for him, like more so than Condiment King and Kite Man. But like
He's just a delusional gangster.
but like what's he done? Yeah, yeah. So F is fine.
Yeah, okay. This one, tricky. Mr. Freeze.
S tier.
Here's the
Come on.
thing.
That's
I
easy
think-
S tier, no?
I think if we rule out comics as what we're talking about, and we just look at other media, he's S tier.
Who's to say we can't?
That's true. But like, because like, sure, I mean, the Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff is iconic, maybe for a bad reason, but like the animated series and in the games, like he's pretty big.
I think
But
A
he
makes
has
a
been,
lot of sense.
yeah, I'm agreeing with A. But like, he hasn't really been used that well in the comics.
Yeah.
But I think he has
It's a
that
shame.
potential in the comics, and he like
100%.
affects things.
A lot of these characters have potential. But yeah, so we'll put Mr. Freeze in A. I think that's fair.
Really? Come on, he deserves better than that.
Victor Zaz.
But fucking look at like we put
Or we're still
Catwoman in S.
Yeah, he's not.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me Mr. Freeze is on the same level as Catwoman?
You don't think so?
No.
No, not at all.
Like he's not even as good as Joker.
Catwoman and Joker are pop culture icons.
All right. Well, he's not as good as Joker for sure.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that.
A. Zaz.
God, I love Zaz.
I like Zaz a lot.
I can tell which characters you like even before I say them.
Yeah, yeah,
You like the little guy.
yeah. I like the guys who are less popular for sure. I think. Who do we have in B?
Oh, we have Man Bat, Killer Croc, Clayface,
Clayface.
Black Mask, Deathstroke, and Hush.
C. I think he's a C.
You think he's on the same level as Flamingo and Mad Hatter?
I think similar to Anarky, he is a character that was introduced
Yeah,
in
he's
the
probably-
90s who was sort of used as like a character who could become popular in that same way of like, this is a Joker copycat. Look how crazy he is.
Yeah. But I think since then, he's kind of been used as like if you have a Batman detective story, he's in it.
Yeah, I think he's got that sort of Silence of the Lambs potential
Yep.
that is good and has been used and is a slightly different flavor from the Joker, believe it or not.
Yeah. Next up I have is the Mutant Leader
F.
Oh,
from the Dark
Could be
Knight.
fucking anybody. Who gives a shit?
And he's got them big old nipples, though. He got them big old pepperoni nip nops.
I mean, so does Bane.
That's true. He's just got some big.
We've
old
already
ones.
got an
You
A-tier
wanna say
nipple guy.
F. I think his iconicness makes it a D.
yeah.
His
Yes.
iconicness?
Dude, I mean, when you think of Miller's Dark Knight, I always think of the mutant
I
leader getting
don't.
punched. Really? You don't think of that mud wrestling scene?
I think more about Batman killing the Joker in Dark Knight.
He doesn't, dude. He doesn't,
The
bro.
mutant guy, like the mutant thing, just it feels shoehorned
All
in.
right, so
Like
you're
it
saying
doesn't-
F. I'm saying D. Marco, what do you got on this?
I'm saying D.
All right. That's two D's. We'll put him there. Owlman.
Oh man, it's cool.
Oh, his Earthman counterpart, his Earth 2 counterpart.
Yeah.
Yeah, B or C.
I feel like we don't get enough Owlman, Batman specific interactions.
And I don't necessarily think we need them.
Fair. They have
But
their
I
own
don't think
Earth.
he's. I wouldn't call him a Batman villain either.
It's fair. So we're thinking F.
D.
Marco, any
Yeah,
I'm fine
I
with
mean,
D.
I would have said C.
The Penguin. This is, I think, this might be S.
This guy's S, but not Dr.
it
Freeze.
is. It is BS. You're correct.
I think in terms of like,
tough.
if you have someone list Batman villains, Penguin's getting named.
Yeah. Again, though, for what though?
I mean, outside of like Falcone, it's like the corrupt mob guy of the Batman universe, and it's expanded, to he was in the 66 series, he was in the Scooby-Doo crossovers, he was in all of the animated stuff. Like, if you have any kind of Batman media, he's in this.
He's in the new movie.
Maybe
So?
maybe A. I can say A.
I can live
think
with
he's a
A.
B.
I say A too,
Two
Tyler.
A's and a B. He was
I
Danny
think
DeVito,
he's-
Kit Falbo says, so I think that makes him S.
That
I think
does.
I think he's an easy monster of the week that doesn't get
Really?
used effectively and doesn't
He
mean
was
anything.
in the Silver Age. This dude was used effectively all the time. He was an equal in a way.
So was Batmite.
Yeah, you got me there. All right, I'm saying A. Marco, you saying A as well?
I'm saying A, yeah.
Okay. The Phantasm.
Come on, you
I
want to
know,
talk about a
it's-
fucking S tier? Are you kidding me?
But like it's the Mr. Freeze thing where like there is one really, really, really good story,
Yeah.
what literally has not been used in the comics until 2 years ago.
I'd say A. A. Come on, Kel, give me that A.
I can't. Believe me, I want to. But she's a one-time villain. And that to me doesn't make a rogue.
I like that logic.
Okay, all right.
I hate myself for it. Believe me, I'm stabbing myself in the back. I think the Phantasm might be a C.
Yikes.
I was gonna say B.
Yeah.
I just like
Interesting.
what do you get? Like she's she's a huge part of Bruce's early life. She's but that's it. Like, by the time she comes around again as the Phantasm, he's well established into Batman, his Batman identity, and then there's nothing.
But she's had so much more effect than
I'm
a
saying
man
B.
bat or a croc.
But the effect, I
Disagree.
think, I think the usage outweighs the effect in that
All right,
instance.
yeah,
I'm gonna
fine,
say
yeah.
B.
Right, fine, we'll put her in B. Damn, that one hurt.
I don't hate it.
Poison Ivy. Another tricky one.
B.
B.
Oh, okay. I guess it's not tricky then.
That was easy.
I think it's fair.
I think
Professor
we're on
Pig.
the
one of my-
precipice of. I think we're on the precipice of good Poison Ivy. I think we're in a really good.
Yeah, I
time
think we're
for
almost there,
Poison
and I
Ivy.
think we're at the precipice of her not being a rogue at all, like just going full.
Yep.
Full. I don't want to say
Harley
hero.
Quinn.
I think, but yeah, I think Harley Quinn route.
Professor Pig. C.
Yeah, C.
Yeah, that's fair. I love Professor Pig. I want there to be more stories. Also in that
Yeah.
Arkham series, I'm pick up that Arkham City book by Danny. It's Dan Waters writing as well.
Oh, really? They're a good team.
It's a very good team. Yeah, it's a Black
Okay.
Label book too. So
Oh, easy.
Prometheus.
Excuse me?
Prometheus. D. Yeah, I
F,
think
because
that's
I don't know who they are.
Were they in War Games?
maybe I know them from that one where what's his face gets killed, or no, Roy Harper kills him. That's where I know him from. But I don't know in terms of Batman.
Okay,
stuff,
I think that's the
maybe
same
not.
character. I think he's. D.
That's fair. Ra's al Ghul.
A. Easy A.
Yeah, I don't think he's S. I think he's close.
I
But
think
he's
he
definitely
can
an A.
make a good case for S.
I think so too. Yeah.
Tyler, I believe it's pronounced Raish Al Ghul.
It's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting two S's in
Ooh,
the chat.
Yeah,
For,
chat says S.
Whoa.
are we gonna? I'm gonna say A just for the cultural monstrosity that was casting Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul.
But we had the iconic animated series, Ra's al Ghul.
Multiple iterations of that.
And in
actually.
terms of the comics, one of the most man, I might say yes.
I think that his early appearance of being one of the first people to sort of really strike out at Robin in the who is it, Neil something Adams,
Oh, Neil
creation
Adams,
of Neil Adams. I think he's one of the first people to, like, strike out at Batman through Robin in a meaningful way. And
I think I could say yes.
his I feel like no matter what you do, especially now with Damian, I feel like Ra's al Ghul,
is tied to that. Yeah.
I think he looms over Batman
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I like
let's
that.
put an S.
I like that.
Well, maybe a little. This
I
one
think
might
he's a
be-
weaker S,
sure lowercase s.
but I think S makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. This one I have is Red Hood. I know
Which
this one
version?
might be a little. I have Jason Todd's.
Fuck it, F.
Really? Okay.
I do
think
not like
the-
Jason Todd as
Really?
the Red Hood,
Okay. I think
or as the current Red Hood.
the current Red Hood is just a hero at this point. He's
Yeah.
he's Batman with guns.
I think
I don't want to say F. I think Under the Red Hood is a very influential story. I think he is a C or a D.
You don't think he's a B?
I think if they had kept him as a villain in terms of a rogues ranking, he would be.
Yeah, I think when
He's
he
just a
was
straight
a
superhero.
villain, he was way more effective.
Well, then let's think of him as the villain then.
But he's not.
He's been not the villain more than he has been the villain.
Because I think
Now the most
especially
villainous things he does is he gives Batman the cold shoulder. Like that's the worst thing he does.
yeah, I think when he's reintroduced and resurrected, you have the heat of, this is one of the Robins who Bruce let die.
Yeah.
And then when Dick becomes Batman, he would have been the perfect rival as, like, Bruce's second son, who was failed.
Okay. All right. I got it to you.
Next one we have is Riddler. I gotta say S tier for Riddler.
Yeah. Yeah.
How?
How?
Yeah, give me what? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
The Riddler
Yeah, dude.
is with the Joker?
He's a contender
I
for
would
that.
say I would say if we're gonna I honestly Joker should maybe be in a J tier, which is above S tier, honestly. Because I think it's hard equating things to Joker, but this is the furthest up we can go.
If
I
Ra's al
think we
Ghul's
equate
on S
into-
tier,
Yeah, we can equate
No,
him to Ra's and
absolutely
Catwoman.
not. Absolutely
I
not.
think so.
you're bananas.
Even the chat's saying S tier.
Are you crazy? What, you guys are way blinded by the film.
No,
There's no
not-
way he's S tier.
Jim Carrey? Are you kidding me?
That's the film I'm thinking of.
Look, bro. Nobody, don't preach that shit to me. I was there when it was written. All right.
All
I
right,
gotta
so
say S. I mean, like in terms of, yeah, you see, Riddler has beaten Batman a few times. He's one of the guys that like Batman can't always beat. And then he's super prevalent outside of the comics.
he
A
figured
tier
out. He figured
at
out who Batman
best.
was.
Yeah,
I don't think he's S tier
I'm
at
gonna
all.
say S. Mark, are you saying S too?
The year one with Scott Snyder and the
that's true.
52
It's probably
stuff,
one of
that
the
was
bigger
good
ones, yeah.
Riddler.
The war of jokes and riddles too. So that put
Yeah.
him and Joker on the same level playing field there. Even though that storyline went on way too long.
I say S, Tyler.
I'm gonna say S.
Sorry, Kale. Try again next year.
I think you're being far too generous.
Oh, did the tier list want to freak out? Hold on a second. Let me just.
Stop it. I cannot stop looking at James Gordon as a penis. Do you see it?
Oh yeah,
Now that you call it out,
yeah, I can see it now.
I keep seeing it.
All right, I got to refresh the page. Hold on. Let's hope it kept
Piece
everything.
of shit.
See the tier list doesn't.
Oh, there it
Even
is.
the tier list knows
Oh,
you're
there it
wrong.
goes. There it goes. Okay. Okay. So next up we have is Scarecrow.
B.
Solid. Oh, I was gonna
Oh,
say
there
solid
it is.
A.
There's the page breaking. I would say he's a solid A. Yeah, he's an easy A in my book.
I don't think he's made it to A yet.
I think he has.
I think the best Scarecrow stuff is the animated series.
We just had an entire run where he was the main villain in Tinian's run. I don't think you read it, but like that was Scarecrow making his big move.
And
I gotta say,
like
I gotta say A on this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna agree.
He is. I mean, he was a Yellow Lantern at one point. Come on,
so is Batman.
that's true. Yeah,
Kefalba
he's
says
B. His fear toxin is A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good.
yeah. I think A tier for me is characters who have either grown or, in the case of the Court of Owls, have tremendously affected Batman. And I don't see Scarecrow in either of those.
Okay,
I like that
I
logic
can-
actually.
I could say. So we're saying B then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
B
like
for
that
that for that
Poison Ivy,
strong,
Killer Croc,
yeah,
Clayface. Okay, yeah.
for your sort of regular rogues gallery sort of monster of the week material.
Yeah, okay. So we have Solomon Grundy up next.
Grundle.
I don't think he's a Batman villain.
I think he's one of those things where like he shows up in Batman stories as like a wall.
Yeah. It's a D.
C.
I'm gonna say D as well, honestly. I'd say
He's
D.
just kind of there.
Yeah. A Batman who laughs.
Oh boy.
In terms of importance and effectiveness. Oh, how did she fall down here? That doesn't belong there. We'll get to her later. I would say Batman Who Laughs is important. I just don't like him. He's like this Deus Ex Machina kind of character. He could just do everything.
Yeah.
I want to say middle of the road C for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair. I just think he's a lazy character. It's like, oh, what if Batman was evil?
I think that's
Like,
the
it's
thing. Yeah. Because he's
maybe
even
that's why I
Bruce
just throw
Wayne.
him,
Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
It's what if Batman was the Joker, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Talia al Ghul.
B.
I say A.
Elaborate.
A. I mean, she fathered Damien. I mean, she was the mother of Damien, so there's an importance factor there. But also, like, she is almost an equal to Batman in terms of just effectiveness. And she's kind of expanded outside of Batman too to be like a major DC character too. I just like her.
I think she could be considered Batman's first ex-wife.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there is a remarkable change after they first meet. I think, and there's like real emotional weight to Talia. So I think A makes a lot of sense.
You know what, Tyler? A to ex-wives.
Kefalba says ex-wives are major villains. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Two-Face.
S tier.
Man,
I think A tier.
I think A tier too.
Really?
I don't know if I could put Two-Face in S. I mean,
He's-
Long Halloween is probably my top 3 favorite books of all time, let alone Batman books. But like outside
He's also
of that,
such a. He's a whole tragic figure though. Like
So is
he
Clayface. So is Mr. Freeze. Like, I would say he's on the same level as Mr. Freeze. Kale's probably flipping out that we're putting Two-Face below Riddler, but
I am now.
I think A is fair.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a ton you can do with him. I think Kit Fabo is right. I think his gimmick is even just a little limiting.
It's true. And probably another
Limited
Kale
range.
favorite, Ventriloquist.
Oh, I love you, man. You got me. B.
What? Really?
I mean,
you're speaking
my
your
same.
truth.
I'm thinking of if they were major villains in Batman the Animated Series. If you saw them several times, they're B tier, and that's good.
He's a C at best.
I'm going to say C as well.
Ooh, this art by Norm Brayfogle is real good.
Man, Norm Brayfogle.
All right, there is our list. Let me just get a screenshot of this real quick. Only 4
Riddler
in
in
S tier.
S tier.
That is the
It should be
correct-
less.
Less tier? You want them in less tier?
I didn't know we were fucking just letting anybody in.
So is there anyone that you think I missed out on adding to this? I was actually going to put Bruce Wayne as a villain in here,
Interesting.
but I didn't do that.
No, I'm pretty comfortable.
I think this is good.
Yeah.
I can actually
This
share
is
the
solid.
the link in here. I'll put it in the chat.
If
you guys wanna
Hardak
make one
weren't so, make sure and put that in the show notes.
Yeah, it's going to go in there as well. Yep.
If Hardak weren't so limited to the 2 animated series episodes, I would say him. Love Hardak.
I was even thinking like OMAC as well, like the OMAC Brother Eye.
That would have been a good one, yeah. But I even think you went far with characters like Solomon Grundy and so yeah, I think
Mr. Bloom wasn't in here. That's what I was forgetting. Mr. Bloom. I like Mr. Bloom.
Ooh.
I like that one. That's just fun. I like doing these. I really want to do a Spider-Man one, a Spider-Man villains one, because I think there's some interesting things there. Because I don't think
all D list.
Well, outside of like Green Goblin, I don't know who would be S tier for Spider-Man. I feel like there's a lot of
Venom.
thing. Oh, Silent Duck with the 50 bits. Thank you. Thanks, bud.
Appreciate
Hopefully
it.
we can raid again once the game gets good. Silent Duck raided with me in Warcraft, so
Oh, good shit.
I know. Yeah, so that's fun, guys. I'm gonna put this up. So I'm actually gonna put this up on YouTube as its own video. I think it'll be part of the podcast as well, but I think it'd be better as its own video, just in terms of views for us. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, if you guys like this, feel free to reach out in Discord. Tell us what you want to do. I have ideas. I want to do like Avengers. I would like to do every Avenger ever, but that might be a full-on episode. Because there's close to 100.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm talking like Ex Nihilo and like some
yeah.
weird cuts. I mean, honestly, I want to just rank that just so I can see what your opinions on Wonder Man is. I love Wonder Man. One of my favorite characters. All right, but yeah, so that's the show, guys. Kale, do you want to get your plugs real quick? Get them out of the way.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TotoInto. That's TOTOINTOW. You can find my work at kaleward.com, CALEWARD.com.
Okay, see you, Cal. Marco, do you have any?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marco Anamoto. Anime, manga, whatever. Come chat with me about stuff.
You could follow me at the Tyler Olson on Instagram and Twitter. Follow Sean when he's not on vacation at Sean Soapbox on Twitter and Instagram. Join our Discord. Link will be in the description for the YouTube video. You can find it on our Twitch and our links there. Follow us on YouTube. All the links are on Twitch as well if you're watching live. So until next week for Pals Polls on Wednesday. That'd be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Check us out there for some actual comics discussion instead of the royal comics that we talk about here. But yeah, guys, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.